In the last 4 games between the Royals and the Tigers, the winning team has not scored more than 3 runs. Thanks to Irvin Santana, the defense, and the bullpen, the winning team only needed 1 run last night. Much of the same should be in order again tonight with Justin Verlander matched up with Jeremy Guthrie. Royals baseball is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium, where 35,000 packed the ballpark last night to watch the Royals take Game 1 for the Tigers, 1-0. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Ryan Lefevre. It was 1 year ago today the Royals traded struggling Jonathan Sanchez to the Rockies for struggling Jeremy Guthrie. But there's been very little struggling for Guthrie with the Royals. He is 13-10 with KC over the last 2 years, and he has been perfect against the Tigers. He's made 4 starts. He's 3-0. His ERA is right around 3. And a big key for him, he has only walked 8 in 26 2/3 innings. And let's welcome in Rex Hudler. And Hud, you would think on paper a fly ball pitcher would not do very well against this Tigers lineup, but it's worked for Guthrie.
Especially here at the K, where the fences might be a little bit deeper. And we saw last night a great sample of what the defense can do when the balls do get some air underneath them. Lorenzo Cain was marvelous. We got Gordon, we got Lowe, fielders that can do it. But the great thing is these pitchers, they compete against each other. Internal competition is a beautiful thing. Guthrie faced these Detroit Tigers back in June. He gave up 14 fly ball outs, none of them very well struck, but the defense came to play behind him, as they love to do behind Guthrie, but also following Irvin Santana. That's a beautiful thing because Irvin, he did what Guthrie wants to do tonight, and they compete amongst each other. Get those ground balls, those double plays. That'll all work well with some run support. Should be really fun to see, especially to keep Cabrera in the yard.
Justin Verlander has pitched 14 innings against the Royals this year and has allowed 1 earned run, but the Royals have won those 2 games.
visiting bullpen as Verlander finishes up. He's a different pitcher than we've seen in the past. Talking to the Tigers people, and we saw it before, where he could get to 100 miles an hour in the 8th or 9th inning, and he would pitch anywhere from 92 to 100 with his fastball. But now, completely different. His velocity is down this year, throwing about 92 to 94. He's been up to 97 a handful of times, but he is still winning. The ERA is a little bit higher. But the one thing he did, even when he was blowing people away in the past, he knew how to pitch. And as it was explained to me, he knows the art of pitching, and he is still doing that, although the strikeouts are down. The Royals, they got to him last time, not really him, but the bullpen, they'll try to do the same again tonight. Enjoy the game.
You by the Missouri Lottery. Play the Powerball and Mega Million Scratchers game to win 100 grand or more. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealer, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. There are thunderstorms everywhere, all around Kauffman Stadium, but we are safe at the moment. No raindrops. The tarp is rolled up and covered. And we will begin on time as the Royals take the field. And tonight's game is brought to you in high definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. So the Royals pick up a game on Jim Leyland's Tigers after winning last night 1-0. 7 games back. Royals trail the Tigers. Cleveland had an opportunity to draw to within a half game, but they lost to Minnesota last night. And here's the lineup that Jeremy Guthrie will face tonight, a lineup that produced no runs on 2 singles last night.
Well, you're not going to see a lot of that production for the Tigers because this is a team that's very well rounded offensively. Hopefully, though, Guthrie can stay away from the barrels like Irvin did last night. And like Irvin did, when he did make some mistakes out over the middle, he kept the ball in center field. That's the biggest part of the park. So hopefully Guthrie will do the same thing. But let's keep an eye out for the top 4 guys there. Torrey Hunter, those are all tough outs. And for Guthrie this season, he's been good early. Then he hit a little point where maybe he had a little dead arm syndrome, but he's back now. He's starting to pitch a lot better. His strikeouts, walks. He has given up some home runs. 14 to left-handed bats, 8 to right. Hopefully he can keep his stuff down in the zone. He can repeat his delivery and also mix his pitches. That's very important to keep these guys off balance and use that defense. Speaking of defense, Chris Getz got his first start last night. Made a nice backhand play, really, and little plays like that sometimes pay big as he ended up keeping Cabrera in the on-deck circle late by making that nice backhand play. So somebody out there, whether they're all-star or not, is going to make a play that's going to make a difference in this game. Believe it, this is good, really good defense.
The little town of Thatcher, Arizona. That would be the hometown of Elliott Johnson. So we say welcome to Kauffman Stadium. Thank you for the sign. The little mining town, Thatcher, Arizona. Ball one inside to Austin Jackson. Always a key when you face the Tigers to keep him off the bases. And he was 0 for 4 last night.
Really, it's important to keep these guys off the bases before Miguel Cabrera. Whenever you have an impact star player like Cabrera, it's hard to contain a guy like that. But you try to get the other guys in front of him. As far as Guthrie's pitches goes, he's got a good two-seam fastball. He's going to try to keep that ball down and away from lefties. Nice little spinning breaking ball. He's got a tight slider and a curve and a changeup he'll use. And once in a while, you'll see him drop down his arm angle, and he'll flip a curveball up there at 67. So as Guthrie gets more mature, he's starting to learn how to invent as he goes along.
Jackson walks on 5 pitches, so Guthrie right away into the stretch. Jackson, one of the only stolen base threats for the Tigers. Jackson has stolen 6. He's been thrown out 2 times. He's also spent some time on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. So that's one of the reasons why those numbers are down for him. Torrey Hunter 1 for 4. He also lost a base hit on a great play by Lorenzo Cain in the first inning. And Lorenzo Cain was all over the place last night.
Well, I'm going to tell you, he's establishing himself as one of the best center fielders, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball. Great range. He has a good read on balls, good first steps. Those are all important when it comes to tracking a ball.
One and one on Torrey Hunter. Also made the final out of the game on a routine fly ball to Lorenzo Cain. And that meant in a 1-0 game, the game ended with Miguel Cabrera on deck.
Well, that timing was perfect.
1-2. Cabrera and how teams keep an eye on him and where he is at all times. It's almost like stopping at an intersection at a train crossing. I mean, you know that train's coming. You can hear it.
That's right.
You can feel it. It begins to whistle as it gets closer, and you just try and get through that intersection before it arrives.
Oh, it's a great analogy.
Still 1-2 on Torrey Hunter.
And Holland, he felt the train when he took the mound, and he knew well before out there as Doug Henry, the pitching coach, always alerts a reliever when he gets ready to come in, who he's facing, what the situation is going to be, so they know before they get out there.
By the way, Miguel Cabrera is just 2 out of 10 against Greg Holland. So a walk and now a strikeout as Guthrie gets Torrey Hunter looking, and that's the first out of the first inning.
Okay, Guthrie, he's going to be trying to be fine as can be to stay out of the middle. So when I say fine, that means stay on the corner, stay down, anything away from the middle. Hunter said, you know, very polite guy. You see Hunter? He said, up. Okay, sir. If that was outside, I'll go. I thought it looked outside, though.
Ball 1 to Cabrera, who was 0 for 3, and he also lost a base hit into the glove of Lorenzo Cain last night.
Boy, those numbers, a lot of guys would like to have those at the end of the season.
Good movement on that pitch. Cabrera swings right over it. 1 ball, 1 strike. We showed you at the top of the show highlights of Guthrie the last time he faced the Tigers. Gave up just 2 runs, 6 1/3 innings, no strikeouts over 6 1/3. He did give up a home run to Miguel Cabrera. And HUD told you about the 14 fly ball outs. 14 of the 19 outs were in the air. Jackson just back in time.
And, you know, you you're sometimes a fly ball pitcher, ground ball pitcher. Guthrie's a fly ball pitcher, obviously, and he throws a lot of strikes. That's one of the reasons that they've hit 22 homers off of him. But if you can just keep the ball in the middle of the field like Santana did last night, he'll be all right with those flies.
One and two.
He's faced Cabrera. Guthrie has 29 times. Cabrera's got 10 hits, 3 homers. There it is.
Showed you last night with 95 RBIs going into the All-Star break. That is the 5th highest total in Major League history, the record being 103. 2 and 2.
It's really hard to pitch Cabrera because he's very patient and he doesn't overstride. The key for a pitcher is to get the hitter off balance. And when that doesn't happen, the hitter keeps his feet underneath him, and you're a great hand-eye coordinated guy like Cabrera is, he's going to hit the ball all over the park. Wherever it's pitched, he hits it. Both pitchers have really good pickoff moves. Guthrie, Irvin Santana, their moves have improved since last year because of James Shields. You know, you talk about the internal competition, how these guys compete with one another. That's really helped Guthrie. Mainly, he's had quick feet and been a good athlete, but it's the location they throw over there to first base.
That's back into the crowd off the right field line.
Low.
And could you imagine anybody running at all against the Royals with Salvador Perez behind the plate and pitchers that manage the running game well?
No.
You could effectively just shut down a running game.
You're exactly right. Salvador helps the pitchers a lot when it comes to that. But also, when you have a powerful lineup like the Tigers, you're not going to try to waste an out or an attempt to steal when you have power, especially with Cabrera here.
Did he go?
Ooh, man, they wanted that. Was that ball backed Miguel Cabrera all the way back to the backstop? So he's committed, and that ball's in. He's trying to get away from it. He did hold his swing, but he ended up being off balance. He ran all the way back to the screen. Phantom Cam will show you that rotation. That was a four-seam fastball that was meant to come up and in. Look at Cabrera. He's like, wow, I hope that didn't hurt. Did that hit me?
Jackson runs, and that's ball 4. So 2 walks allowed by Guthrie in the first inning, and 2 on for Prince Fielder. Guthrie had a very odd final start before the All-Star break. Odd in that just about everybody felt like he pitched very well against the Indians. But there was one inning where the Indians had a couple of soft hits and a walk, and then Lonnie Chisenhall hit a grand slam.
That was a hanging breaking ball.
Hit hard to right field, and so hard that David Lowe had a shot. He will throw to second, trying to get the force. If he catches that ball, it's an easy double play as Jackson just kept running. That Lowe got a glove on it. It falls for a base hit, and Prince Fielder gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead.
Well, you know, whenever you leave your feet, you got to keep it in front of you, and he did that. But let's see if he didn't, if the ball hit his glove before it hit the ground. You see that Phantom Cam, you see a little bit of vibration. He didn't really get that ball, but he got it enough. And then Lowe caught it on the rebound. If we can get a close-up of that glove shot, let's see. No, it did hit the grass. I thought it might have hit his glove first, and then he catches it right here. That would have been a rule to catch. But a nice effort. Keep it in front of you. That's what he did. Double play still in order.
And a hitter at the plate who does not run well in Victor Martinez. So the first walk allowed by Guthrie turns into a run. There's a good pitch to Martinez for strike 1. And if it sounds like a broken record up here in the booth, I apologize, but Victor Martinez hitless last night and lost a base hit on a nice play by Lorenzo Cain. 3 guys in the lineup last night could claim that. Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez.
Partner, you never sound like a broken record. However, if you say that, that's not a bad thing. Keep these Tigers down. Victor Martinez has grounded into 13 double plays this year. Nothing would make Guthrie happier to get out of this inning.
Into right field for a base hit. And now Cabrera is around third. Fielder goes to third. So both walks have turned into runs. And the Tigers, who had only 2 hits and no runs all of last night, have 2 runs, 2 hits, with just 1 out in the first inning.
Well, looks to me like Guthrie's velocity might be a little bit down. Looks like he's just trying to guide that ball in there to me. Looks like he's not pitching with conviction. Dave Island likes for his starters to go right after the opponents, keep the ball down instead of trying to nibble. Looks like he's nibbling. That's a term that players use for a pitcher that's trying to just keep the ball on the edges.
Now, interesting here, Salvador Perez went out there with Dave Island. There's no runner at second base at the moment. And yet when the meeting was over, Salvador Perez wanted both Alcides Escobar and Chris Getz to come to the mound. Would that suggest that they're going to change the signs?
It's very possible that they could change the signs, or they're just talking about defensive alignment and how maybe they're trying to pitch Peralta.
Peralta 0 for 2 with a walk last night. 2 balls and no strikes.
Three pitches, only 11 strikes.
Good movement.
Change up, beautiful pitch there. And that particular pitch will bring ground balls. Peralta, he's grounded into 8 this year.
That fastball coming in at 93. It's a 25 pitch first inning for Guthrie. 2-2 on Peralta. Guthrie's out in this inning was a strikeout looking against Torrey Hunter. He could really use a strikeout here or a double play. Another foul ball.
Okay, Peralta, he's trying to get the ball elevated. Looking for something up. With 2 strikes, he'll be a little bit more defensive up there, but got some good arms in the outfield. It's a medium fly ball. It could be a play at the plate, especially with fielder running. He's not blessed with great speed.
Jammed him. Don't know if it was hit hard enough. So Moustakas with a heads-up play. If the Royals are going to get 1 out, they're going to prevent a run. So Fielder is tagged out on a 5-2 fielder's choice. Martinez to second. Peralta's at first.
That's a smart play. If the ball was hit hard, Moose can turn the double play. But the fact that it was not hit hard, it was a jam shot. Moose says, all right, we already got 2 runs. We can't give him 3 on that. You take what they give you. You got to know how, what you can do with the ball, depending on how hard it's hit.
Outside to Andy Dirks, who had one of the 2 hits for the Tigers, who were shut out for the 7th time last night by the Royals. And the 2 hits should come as no surprise. That was a season low. That ball was hit hard, but right to Hosmer. So 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 runs. And Justin Verlander will take the mound in the bottom of the first inning with a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the first inning, facing Justin Verlander with this lineup.
Okay, with this lineup, they're looking for a bus driver. Somebody to get one big hit off of Verlander. Maybe two, but you got to get some runners on. Gordon needs to start heating up a little bit. He hit the ball well. Last night, Hosmer's bat is lethal right now. The way he swung the bat last night, I mean, he's coming on really good. Now, this guy, he's a horse. There's no question about it. His velocity might be down a little bit. Walks, the innings, you know, the strikeouts, look at that. He's a beast. Only 10 home runs, 7 by right-handed bats, 3 to left-handed bats. Opponents hit 255, so he can be gotten to. However, he's had a great record in his career against the Royals, 15-2 in 25 career starts. But his bullpen has really let him down. So they've got to find a way to tax the pitch count from Verlander, try to get him early, and somehow get this guy out of the game. When he gets on a roll, it's hard to stop. He's got a great 2 and 4 seam fastball.
And fastball at 91. You mentioned his velocity is down, and at the same time, he doesn't usually come out with his best velocity in the first 2-3 innings.
No, he's a smart guy. He understands how to pitch. He understands that pitching is an art, not throwing. He threw for the first 2 or 3 years. Then he said, you know what? My velocity eventually is going to go down. I'm going to have to be smarter. Less is more.
Back-to-back changeups. 1 and 2 on Alex, who was 1 for 4 with the only run scored last night. That was in the first inning, coming home on a Billy Butler base hit. Alex also had a stolen base. Two and 2.
Okay, you can see the fastballs at 95 plus. He was a very powerful pitcher, but you can see how that's kind of come down here the last couple of years. In velocity, you know, that's a lot. Big difference between 95 and 92. 91. Just went foul.
And he has shown Alex everything. Fastball, changeups, that was a curveball.
One of the ways that they've tried to work with Verlander on his game is his pitching coach, Jeff Jones. They don't let him throw as much in between starts. So he's only thrown 1 time since his July 14th last start last Sunday. So they're trying to, you know, back off of all the throwing that he does. But this is what I'm talking about. What Gordon's doing here in this at-bat is a very good plate appearance here. Whether he wins it or not, try to tax the pitch count from this guy. That's the pitching coach there, Jeff Jones.
Still 3 and 2.
So whether you win the at-bat or not, leadoff hitter's job lots of times is to see what he's got and go back to that dugout and tell everybody what it's looking like.
Ball 4. So the Tigers had a leadoff walk. Now the Royals get a leadoff walk.
Boy, that was a beautiful plate appearance there for sure when you win it like that on a borderline pitch. All right, the Tigers defense, the infield, they're not blessed with a lot of range. However, they catch the ball when it's hit to them. You see the 4 all-stars all out there. They're good. Torrey, Hunter, Jackson, and Dirks makes up a pretty good outfield, especially Jackson and Hunter out there. They got the speed. Still, they can run those balls down and have air underneath them.
Eric Hosmer was 1 for 4 last night. He also lined to the outfield twice. And another changeup. Now, I didn't see the Royals' final 4 games before the All-Star break, but something I noticed right away last night about Hosmer, he seems to be a little bit lower in his stance.
He looks like he's adjusted that. He's got a little bit more flex to his knees. But I'm going to tell you one thing that's been consistent with him is the level of his bat. It stays in the hitting zone a long time, and he's taken some rips. Now, you see there's a little bit more bend in those knees there. So that keeps him a little bit more grounded, gives him a little bit more ability to stay on the ball. When you stand up taller, it gives you a little bit more strength, a little bit more power, but this to me looks like a base hit stance.
Geared up for a fastball. It was out of the strike zone, 2-1.
Just gives you a little bit more balance when your knees are bent. Oh!
Verlander almost hit first base coach Rusty Kuntz. And it's a good thing he didn't for a couple of reasons. We don't want to see Rusty get plunked with a pickoff, but if it hit him, it would have been much easier for Fielder to go get the ball and throw down to second base.
Now, Verlander, that was not his A move. Maybe that's the reason he threw it away. He just lobbed it over there. Typically, when Verlander has a pickoff, he goes hard and throws hard.
And again, Verlander gets Hosmer to go up and out of the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So pitcher's thinking is, I got him to swing at it once, I can get him on it again. When you keep doing that, he'll stay there. Because the hitter can't hurt a pitcher with a ball that high up out of the strike zone.
Near second base, Peralta and Santiago, and Peralta makes a play for the first out. And that brings up Billy Butler.
All right, the previous pitch will show you it was that high fastball. Now see the eyes, it looks good to the hitter. Anything that's elevated looks good. Now he's got a pretty good job, but see the bat angle? The bat angle's down here. He's only going to pop that ball up. If you're going to have any chance to hit a high fastball, you got to have that barrel up, but still it's too far up out of the zone. At 95, you can't catch that. Too bad Hosmer couldn't have pulled it on the ground to move Gordon into scoring position over there at third.
Broken bat, and Peralta got turned around the wrong way, and it drops for a base hit. And for Billy Butler, that is his 25th career hit against Justin Verlander. That is the most of any hitter ever against Verlander.
Well, it was a jam sandwich, there's no doubt about it, and we all know Billy loves a jam sandwich. He'll take it, especially when it falls in for a knock. But when Peralta went back on it, it looked like he was going to catch that with no problem. But that was how he played it. He backed up 2 or 3 steps before turning, and that allowed the ball to fall in. You take a direct route, you turn and go, you catch that ball. Make him pay this early in the game. A lot like last night's game.
And now Perez, one of the best for the Royals this year with runners in scoring position, and he jumps on the first pitch and pops that up. Alex is tagging. Hunter is underneath it, still has a good arm, and the throw is just enough offline. And moving up to second base is Billy Butler on a heads-up play. So Sal Perez puts the Royals on the board with a sac fly, and Billy Butler moves into scoring position.
Every single game here the rest of the year for the Royals is meaningful, especially when you play the team that's ahead of you. They've got to be able to take advantage of the mistakes that your opponents make, and that's what they did. Verlander's first error of the season, the walk to Gordon, a great plate appearance. And this one right here by Salvador Perez, he got up under it just enough to get it deep enough. And Billy Butler tagging was perfect. Now he's in scoring position. They got a chance to tie it here. Now they're going to try to appeal that at third base, and I don't think they're going to be successful with it. Because Gordon, he left right when Hunter caught it. I was watching.
Kerwin Danley is the third base umpire.
And so you folks can see it at home. There it was. As a matter of fact, he was just a click behind even.
Inside to Lorenzo Cain. And You have to give an assist on that tag up to first base coach Rusty Kuntz, because Billy Butler is not one to tag up at any base, let alone going from first to second. And you know Rusty was all over him, having scouted Torrey Hunter, and probably got the feeling that Torrey was going to try and launch it all the way to the plate.
And, you got to read the cutoff man, because Torrey's going to try to throw, just like you said. But Prince Fielder, he jumped with everything he had to try to catch it and get Billy. It was a good read. If the throw's low and he can cut it, you can't tag there.
Kane was 1 for 4 last night, but his contribution was in the field, making 3 great plays, and all of them up against the wall in center field. He has hit in 7 straight games to get his batting average up to 259.
He's a lot more confident.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Ryan, there are different ways guys tag at third base. Lots of times guys want to watch the play, they want to turn around. Watch Gordon now. Okay, watch him. He's going to turn his back to the play. Okay, he goes the other way. He's turning now. He's still watching Hunter, but other guys will use their other foot so they can see him a lot clearer. So obviously Gordon's more comfortable tagging with his right foot on the base opposed to his left foot. But I personally, I like to watch. I like to give myself the best view of the field, and that's with your left foot on the base, because you're seeing everything out in front of you. But Gordon obviously showed that you can do it the other way. You just have to turn your neck a little more. Billy can get a good secondary lead, and that's the lead off of the pitch, because there's no one near it.
Still 2-2 on Kane.
He's doing right now what you got to do against Verlander. You got to shorten up your swing a little bit with 2 strikes. A runner is in scoring position, so you got to be hacking anything close. Take advantage of what he gives you, but don't get up there and look in a certain spot. You got to widen that plate out right now. Kane's a .284 hitter with a runner in scoring position.
And a catch it short by Peralta. Royals come up with an unearned run thanks to the error by Verlander. The inning started with a walk. Perez puts the Royals on the board. Tomorrow it's Kids Fest as we pull out all of the stops for the kids with entertainment and activities in the outfield experience before the Royals take on the Tigers at 1:10, and the first 5,000 kids age 14 and under will receive a Slugger Bank courtesy of the Kansas City Zoo. That's tomorrow at 1:10.
Hey, we love the kids, Ryan, especially coming out here to the K. That's our future. a few of these kids out here, the way they play baseball in the Midwest, we'll be talking about them here soon.
High strike to Alex Avila, and he doesn't like the call. He feels like he has a pretty good idea of the strike zone as he is the Tigers catcher. And when you're hitting 174, which Avila is, it always seems like the borderline calls go the other way. That's inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Didn't you feel like, and I know this didn't happen to you very often, but the few times you were in a slump, didn't it always feel like you were 1-2, 0-2 all the time?
Yeah, it seemed like everything just piled on when things were going bad.
And that's hit well into left center field. So the Tigers will have a runner in scoring position right away. Avila had been 0 for his last 8, in addition to hitting 174. And he is at second base with nobody out.
So he got him a ball that's elevated. Okay, if Guthrie's going to stay in this game for any length of time, he's going to have to get ahead of guys and then try to finish them off. Good inside out swing. Santiago coming up here. He knows the situation. He can bunt and try to advance the runner or pull it to the right side. That's the situation.
He has 3 sacrifice bunts this year. And Jim Leland, at least with that pitch, was going to let him swing away 0-1.
But you notice it's on the outer half of the plate. Guthrie and Salvador Perez, they know the situation too. They're going to make it hard on Santiago. They're not going to try to give him something on the inner half. He can just pull it over there. You know, in this situation, Ryan, when the second baseman and the first baseman, they can contact Moose and say, Moose, if he hits that ball to me on the line, I got a slow runner, Avila, I'm going to come to you at third base and get him with nobody out. You think about that. Hard shot. I used to point to my third baseman and say, if he hits it hard to me, I'm going to come to you. So be ready for it.
And say it loud enough so the runner hears it, right?
That's right.
Put a little doubt in his mind.
I'm telling you that, and maybe 2 times in your career that happens, but it's usually a big play with nobody out.
Santiago trying to pull it to the right side, pulls it foul, and it's 2-2. So you got who is typically a bench player at the plate hitting 157, who's a pretty good bunter, and Jim Leland is going to let him swing away. That would tell me that the Tigers are going for the throat early in the game tonight. And Moustakas, low throw, and it's out of Hosmer's glove. So Santiago reaches, and Avila goes to third on the throw, and Tigers have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Moose because, look, he knows he's got to be really quick with the transfer. I mean, Hosmer typically is really good scooping these. I think that he saw Avila wanting to go, and he was pulled up a little bit. See, he took his eye off his glove just a little bit, and it didn't quite stay in it.
And now Austin Jackson, who opened the game with a walk and came around to score. The Tigers got 2 walks in the first, Jackson and Cabrera, and they both came around to score with Fielder and Martinez driving in the runs. Slash foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Already 3 out of 5 with runners in scoring position, which is impressive. And then you remember it's only the second inning and there are no outs. They've already had 5 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's amazing how the game changes from night to night. That's one of the reasons that people get excited about coming to a baseball game, a big league game especially, because you just never know what's going to happen. Right here, Guthrie would love a strikeout. Pitch count's already very high.
And he gets a strikeout as Jackson chased a high fastball. That is Guthrie's second strikeout of the game.
Okay, that's a really good four-seamer. He used it the same way Verlander used it on Hosmer. Here we go. Look at the fold in the skin of his right forearm. Look at that. Look at his elbow. Look at that. That Phantom Cam catches all that stuff. You think there's any wear and tear on the elbow or the shoulder by looking at that shot?
Chop foul by Torrey Hunter.
Perfect pitch right there. Hunter's only grounded into 4 double plays this year, but if he could execute a pitch like that where the hitter hits the top of the ball, he can get out of the inning unscathed. Hunter's smart. He's looking for something up.
And he got a pitch up.
But he didn't get it all.
Deep enough into left field, where Avila will come down the line. And the Tigers lead 3-1 as Torrey Hunter drives in his 45th of the year.
Yep, smart hitter. Not an easy out. And he just missed the barrel. But you could kind of tell with the sound that he didn't get it all. And the sound is what outfielders go on too. Helps them get a jump.
Sal didn't quite get the grip he was hoping for. Otherwise, he was going to try and pick off Santiago. Cabrera walked in the first inning, and he scored on the Victor Martinez base hit. Not hit very hard, but drops out in his shallow right center field. So Santiago goes first to third on the bloop hit from Cabrera. That is his first hit of the series.
Yeah. See, now that's how you go back on a ball. It's right over your head. A jam sandwich, he'll take it too. Cabrera loves his jam sandwiches too, like Billy. As long as they fall in for knock. But you can see the vibration of that bat. Whenever a guy doesn't make good solid contact, you feel it. But yet he turned and ran and did all he could to try to catch it. Phantom Cam will show you when a guy barrels one up on the sweet spot, and when he gets jammed, it'll show you the vibration.
And that's blasted into deep center field. Kane is back, and he runs it down. So again, it could have been much worse for Guthrie and the Royals as the Tigers get one on Torrey Hunter's sac fly. Well, you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. So runs have been scored in every half inning so far. The Tigers got 2 in the first. Royals got a run against Verlander in the bottom of the first. And Detroit added another run in the top of the second. Mike Moustakas, David Lowe, and Alcides Escobar coming up against Verlander. And Moustakas trying to bunt and then slams his bat into the dirt. He realized he had a golden opportunity there with the way the Tigers were defending Moustakas on the left side.
And it's a great idea. But all you have to do is get the ball down. You don't have to worry about running out of the box. Now, Moose didn't quite have the angle where he wanted to get it fair. All you have to do is put it in fair territory with the third baseman way off and back. And he slammed his bat down because he knew he had an easy base hit there. But the key is not to try to come out of the box too soon. You're not trying to fool him. He's already way out of position. Just concentrate and get that thing down and then run. Good try, though.
Torrey Hunter back in right field. Moustakas just missed it. One down in the second.
Miller Lite, great sponsors of the team. They had a nice little function out there before the game, Ryan. It was really good. A lot of veterans out there, armed forces people out there. I was honored to be able to go out there and hang out with them, play some games with the folks, meet them. Really, Miller Lite does a lot in the community. It's fun to get out there and mix with the people. Thank you guys for supporting our troops.
Ball 1 to David Lowe. 0 for 1 last night. Also had a sac bunt and a walk. He's hitting .292. That's off the end of the bat. And Andy Dirks makes the play in left field. 2 outs. So it's very early, and we've seen one fastball at 95 from Verlander. And for some pitchers, that indicates what he has tonight. But with Verlander, it doesn't. I mean, he's one of those rare guys that can get stronger as the game goes. He threw his first major league shutout here in 2006, his rookie year, when he was the American League Rookie of the Year. And he was throwing 99 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
That's some kind of talent.
So 9 of his 15 wins against the Royals here in Kansas City. Quite a career. First round pick in 04, Rookie of the Year, and pitched in the World Series in 06. Threw a no-hitter in 07. That was against Ned Yost when he was managing for the Brewers. Another no-hitter in 2011. And in 2011, he was the Cy Young winner and American League's most valuable player. And he has a much easier second inning than he did the first. 3 fly ball outs on just 8 pitches. And at the end of 2, the Tigers lead 3-1.
All right, you want a four-seam fastball from the Phantom Cam? You got it. Guthrie struck out Austin Jackson with it. That four-seamer is designed to stay straight and to get a guy to swing and miss up in the zone. Sometimes when the pitcher misses, though, those balls go a long way.
Nice crowd here tonight after 35,000 attended last night's game. Jeremy Guthrie is hoping for his first scoreless inning here in the third. Tigers took advantage of 2 walks in the first inning and scored twice, and then turned a leadoff double into a run in the second inning. Victor Martinez drove in one of those 2 first inning runs with an RBI single. A couple of guys matching up here who both came up through the Cleveland Indians organization.
Yeah, there's kind of a slow curve there that Guthrie threw, but however, he'll throw one at 67 sometime in this game. But the pitch that he really wants to get working that's not so far is his 2-seamer. Salvy's calling for a 4-seamer. Okay, that one's working, but that 2-seamer really gives it a little extra run down and away from the lefty and into the righties. Changeup's pretty effective so far. He's had a couple of good changeups. Haven't seen a real good 2-seamer from him yet. You got to have 4 pitches if you're a starter to have different weapons to get guys out with. And Guthrie has them. But sometimes, and pitchers will tell you that 1 or 2 of them aren't working. So that's when you have to figure a way to navigate your way through the lineups and try to get them out with what you have. And Guthrie's shown he can do that. To have your best stuff more often than you would hope. They'd like to have it, but it's just not humanly possible every time out.
2-2. We saw an example of that last night. Irvin Santana looked like he had his good stuff. Anibal Sanchez did not, but he found a way to make it work. Good changeup pulled on the ground to Getz. He will backhand and throw out Martinez. And there's one out in the third inning.
No, if you ask Sanchez if he got lucky last night or he was fortunate, depends on what word you want to use, he'll tell you absolutely I was lucky or fortunate, because he got away with some pitches that were up in the zone with some runners on, but he wiggled his way out of it. You can see this grip here. Everything is going forward. He's trying to stay on top of the ball. And by the way he's gripping that's that changeup. You see it? It's in the back 3 fingers.
Peralta reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. And he gets it in between Moustakas and Escobar for a 1-out base hit. And now Andy Dirks out of Haven High School in Burton, Kansas, Hutchinson Community College, and then Wichita State. Drafted by the Tigers in the 8th round out of Wichita State and signed by a former Wichita State Shocker star, Chris Wimmer, who was one of the best college baseball players I played against. 1 ball, 1 strike. There was a time, and I'm sure it hasn't changed much, but you wouldn't think of the Wichita area as producing a lot of speed guys. But Gene Stevenson's Shocker teams always seem to have local kids, if not from Wichita, near Wichita. They could hit, they could run. They had that turf infield with the grass outfield, and I mean, they would just run teams into the outfield wall.
Aggressive, like that style. If that's what you have, if that's the makeup of your team. But Ryan, Division I college baseball, I'm going to say it's a good Double-A league. Would you say that?
Oh boy,
Or is that a little bit high for that?
That might be a little high.
Maybe A ball. High A?
Maybe high A.
Okay.
Good Division I program, yeah.
Because I know a lot of college guys, they go right up into the high A's, and some of them go to Double-A right out of Division I colleges.
And for most of them, it's just the adjustment from the aluminum bat to the wood bat, and once they get used to that, yeah, Double-A isn't a huge adjustment. I mean, Alex Gordon, for instance, he was the National College Player of the Year in 2005, and then he just tore up Double-A in 2006. And speaking of Alex, that's lined in his direction, and he runs it down.
Okay, Alex is blessed athletically, and some guys have a couple of different gears they can shift into, and Alex just shifted. He started cruising until he could pick it up, and then he shifted. He shifted gears, and he had a higher speed, and he almost dropped it on the transfer. However, had he dropped it, the umpire would have had to make a ruling whether he was taking it out of his glove, and that would have been the case there. But he was able to rebound and get it back in.
So 2 down to Alex Avila. He doubled leading off the second inning and scored on Torrey Hunter's sac fly. So batting under 180, hitting 178. He has spent some time on the disabled list. He had a strained left forearm in early June. Pretty good swing there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Avila 2 years ago hit 295 for the Tigers, and then last year batted just 243, and then a big drop off so far this year.
Well, he's an excellent receiver and a signal caller, and when you have a team like the Tigers with heavy pitching staff like they've got, he's not going anywhere. He's doing his job. Catching number 1, if you can hit a little bit, that's great.
And when you've got Hunter, Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez, and Peralta, you can cover a 178 hitter most of the time.
That's right.
Foul tip, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, there's some 93. But Alex, he missed that. He's out over the middle of the plate.
No swing, 3-2. Biggest issue right now for Guthrie, 2-run game, still very early. He's thrown 68 pitches. So he is well over an average of 20 pitches per inning. And once you get to 20 pitches or more per inning, that is a big, big number.
Yep. And I mentioned it earlier, he's nibbling a little bit tonight.
Peralta runs. Avila strikes out. So it wasn't a fast inning for Guthrie, but it's a scoreless inning. Tigers leave a runner on base. Detroit leads 3-1.
Avila, you got to go.
This is Sue Ellen Freed. Long an advocate for the prevention of child abuse, Sue Ellen has worked with over 85,000 students and educators in 36 states during the last 18 years. She is the founder of Bully Safe USA, and Sue Ellen serves as an international speaker and workshop leader by working with others across the country to conduct student empowerment sessions in schools. Sitting in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seat at tonight's game.
That's a great thing that the Royals do, Ryan, especially an ambassador like Buck O'Neil. You must feel really honored to sit in that seat. Way to go, folks. Way to contribute to your community. What a tribute.
Chris Getz is the last Royal to come up against Justin Verlander tonight. Verlander has retired the last 5. And Getz hits it well, but right at Torrey Hunter in right field. And that is out number 1.
Okay, that one jam shot that Billy hit over Peralta's head, that's the only hit so far. And now the next few innings here, the last couple, we've had Royals swinging early in the count instead of doing what Alex did in his first at-bat, milk 9 pitches. I like the approach better to make him throw some pitches. Get to that pin, you win.
After walking against Verlander, Alex went to second on an error when Verlander tried to pick him off. And then eventually scored on a sac fly from Salvador Perez. 0-2.
When Verlander walked off the mound after the first inning, he had some choice words for himself. He wasn't happy at all. And like most aces, after the first inning, they can settle. And that's what we've seen. He's settling down.
Still 0-2.
Alex had some really good at-bats last night. And he's carried it over to tonight. They got to have Alex Gordon to get hot like he did the first 2 months of the season. If they can get him going, we're going to see a lot more runs and some more homers shot over that wall.
Fastball at 94, 1-2. Alex has a couple of home runs in his career against Verlander.
His last homer came on the 7th of this month.
No swing. 2-2.
But what we're seeing from Alex's first at bat in this one, he's competing. He's really focusing. He's picking up the release point, and he's making his mind up right away.
Fastball at 95, and that's where Verlander has topped out. And I think that's only the second time he has reached back for that velocity, and that is his first strikeout of the game. So he saved it for that pitch.
Right. Okay, look at this 2 starts this season and see what I'm saying. You get him out of the game. Look what the bullpen's done for him. 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs after he departs.
And the Royals ended up winning those 2 games. Two 2-0 on Eric Hosmer, who popped out to short in the first inning. Hosmer in his rookie year hit the Tigers as good as any team in the American League, but they adjusted against him last year. Hosmer had just 5 hits against the Tigers all of last season, but now he's turned that around and has 7 hits in the first 6 games against Detroit. So punch, counter punch. Hosmer and the Tigers over the last 3 years.
They remember he got Hosmer to swing up in the zone with a couple of 4-seamers. And that first at bat, now with 2 strikes, he might try to do it again. You have a scouting report before the game, and then the scouting report adjusts as the game moves on and you see what the hitter's doing to your pitch.
Off of his foot.
If you can sneak a fastball by a guy at game time, and they tell you in the meetings before the game, don't throw this guy any fastballs, but then all of a sudden you get a couple by him, you're saying, wait a minute, I feel good about my fastball here. I'm going to use it again. That's how it changes in the course of a game. And the catcher, he feels the same thing the pitcher's feeling.
Up the middle and into center field. So Hosmer stayed back on the curve and has a 2-out single, his 8th hit against the Tigers this year.
You know, Ryan, I talk about the biggest hole in the diamond a lot up here, and it's right up the middle. Okay, if you can get anything on the ball and you get it past the pitcher, you got a hit. Look at all the area up there. You don't even see a defender there. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes or even before that, when you're a little more defensive, that's all you got to do. Try to guide the ball back up the middle, and you got a good chance. With any kind of speed, you can get an infield hit if they glove it. Money's up the middle and to the right side of the opposite field. Speaking of money, Billy knows how to do it. The outfielders are shifted over to the offside for Billy. Infielders are pretty much straight up, a little pull on the left. But they think he's going to go opposite field on Verlander.
Billy had a bloop single in the first inning for his 25th career hit against Justin Verlander. Nobody ever has had more hits against Verlander than Billy Butler. And his career average now against Verlander is .431 as that ball gets away from Avila. And Hosmer moves up to second base.
Okay, that's being heads up, looking for anything to advance on in the dirt. Okay, watch Hosmer, top of your screen. Watch it. Okay, he sees it, says, all right, I'm ready. Avila's going to get charged with a pass ball.
I remember asking Billy a couple of years ago why he has numbers like that against Justin Verlander. And first of all, he's a good hitter, so that's the obvious. And number two, he just sees the ball out of Verlander's hand. And specifically, I remember him telling me that he picked up the changeup. He really picks up the change, so he can really sit on the fastball because he's not fooled by the change. And Verlander pitched him very carefully here, walks him on 4 straight pitches.
And with first base open, and the fact that Billy Butler's in the mind of Verlander, he wasn't going to give him anything to hit there. 51st walk for Billy.
Here's tonight's Sprint Unlimited Answers poll. Who will finish with the highest batting average? Alex Gordon, Eric Hosmer, Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, or David Lowe. Right now, David Lowe has the highest average at .291. That's your selection, that guy in the Crown Club back there in the third row?
No, right here.
That guy.
I'm going to draw. That's my pick. But you know what, though? We hope that all these guys raise it up around 290, 300. That's what Ned Yost is hoping, that offense can match the pitching that they've gotten this year.
Hold foul. It's 0-2 on Perez.
And there's still time. With pitching, you got a chance. With the Royals, with the pitching staff they ran out there last year, wouldn't be looking too good this time of year. But since they've got pitching, and that really solid bullpen, get some run support, you got a chance. Ooh. He missed that one. That was the one he wanted.
And that was 97 miles an hour. Now, it gets a lot of pitchers in the league. You get a situation like this one, and it's early in the game. And you figure, well, let's try and cash this in. And if you don't, well, it's still early. will get him next inning. Well, against Justin Verlander, you don't know how many chances you're going to get. And this is one right here.
And you know, it's really difficult when he's got you down 0-1, 1-2. Because, I mean, you know, you really got to concentrate. He's got a four-seam fastball at 97. He'll throw up top. He'll break off the breaking ball. He's got a changeup. You really got to shorten up your swing here. And Salvi knows how to do that. He's hitting 361 with runners in scoring position. Shorten it up and put it in play.
And it's lined into right field. And Hunter did not play a very good angle. Billy Butler is going to be waved home. The throw misses the first cutoff man. And Salvador Perez will be out at third, but 2-run score to tie the game.
Shorten that baby up and look what can happen. Good hustle by Billy Butler, bringing the mail home all the way from first base to tie this game. That was sweet.
Kauffman Stadium and Lorenzo Cain. Yeah, if Ryan said it sounded like a broken record before, I'm going to continue it because his defense is definitely getting attention. And not just from around the league, but from former greats. Like a guy that, well, used to patrol center field with that number. Willie Wilson tweeting this morning, glad to see the Royals win last night. Very proud of Lo Cain representing number 6. And Ryan also had a chance to talk to some of the players over on the Detroit Tigers because, and you've been saying this for a long time, he reminds us of a young Torrey Hunter. I mentioned that to Torrey, and he said, yeah, I could see that. And Prince Fielder said, oh, but a more athletic, maybe not more athletic, but a bigger Torrey Hunter. A nice quick out there. And, you know, he and Prince Fielder are former teammates from Milwaukee, so they are friends. And I had a chance to talk to Lo Cain today and said, okay, what happened here? What did Prince say to you? He said, he didn't say anything. He just gave me a look like, get out of here. And so I did that. And then I said, any chance at all that you try to run through that guy? And he said, there is no way in the world that I'm running through that guy. He is a big boy, and it's not fluffy, he said. He is solid. And Prince got a kick out of that one, but he's a big fan of Lorenzo Cain's. And I asked Torrey what he said after he robbed him on that catch last night. He said, I just looked at him, and I smiled, and I thought, really? Wonder how many times Torrey's done that to some guys.
Well, in some ways, Torrey Hunter was the inspiration behind those plays in center field because that's who Lorenzo Cain wanted to be like when he pictured himself in the big league someday.
Torrey is a very humble man.
I had a chance to see him very early in his major league career, and what impressed baseball people is that, you know, he wasn't a great hitter right away. He didn't become a productive hitter until a few years into his big league career. There's a strikeout of Jackson. 2 down in the 4th. 4 strikeouts for Guthrie, and the second time he has gotten Jackson. But Torrey Hunter understood that he was as valuable in the field as he was at the plate, and did not let poor at-bats affect his defense. Whereas a younger player, I mean, they'll take their poor at-bats with them out on defense.
And it takes time. He didn't produce in his first few years, like you said. Good pitch there, Guthrie. Hunter was sitting on a fastball, and he saw one floating up there, and he pulled it foul.
Toyota League leaders for tonight, Lorenzo Cain, and where he ranks in putouts per 9 innings, assists, fielding percentage among American League center fielders. Torrey Hunter says, go get that one. Cain says, no problem.
Yeah, you can't try Cain. He's already, that's low Cain out there. And Willie Wilson, way to make Cain feel special that he got a tweet by you. You're the man, Willie. Beautiful. Hit it if you can.
Day is next week. The Baltimore Orioles will be in town for 4 games. The first 10,000 fans on Tuesday receive this gray Royals KC t-shirt courtesy of Microsoft. Gates open at 5:30, so you want to get here early for that. You can get your tickets right now at Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Lorenzo Cain will lead off the bottom of the 4th inning in a 3-3 tie. 3 things you need to know about Lorenzo Cain. He lost his father when he was just 4 years old, so his mother raised Lorenzo and his older brother Delvin all by herself. So Lorenzo didn't play many sports as a kid because his mom was working 2 jobs, didn't have the time to take him to practices, so he got a late start with the game of baseball. But the Brewers saw something in him and drafted him in the 17th round of 2004. And the very next year, he was the Arizona Rookie League's MVP. So he blossomed rather quickly in professional baseball.
When you're an athlete, you can do that. But it's not too often, because in a timing sport like baseball, the younger you start, the better opportunity you have for later. Verlander's pulling out some pretty good pitches here, these first 2 on Cain. But athletes, they have the ability to adjust to their surroundings and to blend in and to be exceptional. We watch his outfield play. He's establishing himself this season. He's staying healthy so far. Knock on wood, or whatever you want to knock on. Stay healthy, that's the key.
Just nicked it. And he spent some time, it's interesting, this past off season, he spent a lot of time in Kansas City, and he trained with Al Hobson and Rodney Christensen, who are the head coach and trainer, respectively, at Kansas City Community College. That's Kansas City, Kansas. And Al Hobson was the former coach of Maurice Green. And they really worked on Lorenzo's running technique and exercises to increase his leg strength. He did a lot of yoga during the offseason. You're a big yoga guy, just trying to keep those legs conditioned for the grind of the 6-month baseball season.
That's extremely important for all players. You know, Ryan, I took a speed acceleration program course in my 30s, early 30s, just to maintain my speed. And that was plyometric jumping, some hip flexor machine work, squats, stuff I never did before, just to maintain my speed that I was blessed with. And it turned around. I was stronger in my hips, and it transformed into my batting. I got stronger as a hitter and started driving the ball more. Never, ever give up your off-season program.
Torrey Hunter, how badly does he want to make that play? It drops for a base hit. So Torrey, who has as much fun as anybody on the field, he's thinking, I'm hitting the ball right on the screws. And Lorenzo Cain, there's like 4 Lorenzo Cains out there running every ball I hit. And he just drops a little bloop out into right field and ends up with a base hit. Where's the justice?
It's a frustrating game. But that's a really good at-bat. That's a perfect 2-strike hitting approach he took into there.
Verlander up to 97. He did that once tonight. Guthrie so far at 94 in our Time Warner Cable pitch speed comparison. And Verlander so far has 1 strikeout. Now, he is still among the league leaders in strikeouts. He has 126. That's 7th in the league. But way below his standards. You know, half of his starts this year, he has struck out 5 or fewer. Half. He has struck out 10 or more twice. That's 2 out of 20 starts. So as Joel pointed out very early in the broadcast tonight, this is a different Justin Verlander than the Royals are used to.
Well, he's figuring out that he doesn't have to get strikeouts to win games. Just get outs.
1-1 on Mike Moustakas. So, Joel, what do you hear about Verlander and the way he's been pitching this year?
Well, completely different. And, you know, talking to the Tigers announcers, they say they don't really know why the velocity's down. But, you know, you also have to remember that he knew how to pitch, not just throw. And I know Hud mentioned that before when he was dominating with the 97 to 100 miles an hour. So he still knows how to pitch. We're seeing that tonight, but it does look different. And when you look at those strikeout games that you're talking about, Ryan, he has now gone 6 straight of 5 strikeouts or less. It's the first time that he's had a streak like that since 2008. So this is definitely a different Justin Verlander, but still really good results.
Moose is getting closer. He just missed one in his last at-bat.
Fly down to right field, leading off the 2nd inning. And there's a base hit into right field as he went down and got a breaking ball. The Royals have 2 on, nobody out in the 4th inning.
All right, he had some really good swings early, but Moose is starting to come because he's shortening up his swing and he's putting the ball in play with authority. Watch how he's able to stay with this breaking ball moving away from it. That's a changeup, but he's able to stay down with it. The hips are going to fly first, but if your head position and everything's down, you can stay with it and stick it if it's out over the plate, and that's exactly what he did, short to the ball.
So 2 base hits in the inning, and both times Royals hitters were down in the count 1-2. David Lowe takes a fastball strike. He flied out to left field against Verlander in the 2nd inning. The Royals have had 7 base runners against Verlander in 3 innings and 2 batters in this inning.
Lowe wants to stay on top of the ball, try to find a hole. And those little lazy fly balls to left field aren't getting him anything. He's got to really concentrate on either staying off of that high pitch, or if you're going to swing at it, keep the bat above the ball and hit down. If there's anything up in the air that way, that's an out. He's got some pole pop. He's really good on the inside part of the plate.
And lined into right center field. Now Kane did not get a good read. Moustakas did. Moustakas was thinking first to third, but Kane started back to second base. So it's a long single for David Lowe, and the Royals have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because that's an easy read. Okay, the ball, they're not going to catch that ball. I mean, Lorenzo Cain, he was already heading back to second base even. You don't want to go back to second in a situation like that. If you're not going to go and score, you go halfway. But Cain and Moose had to put on the brakes and get back in there to second base. But there's no damage. Nobody out. See if Escobar can gain some confidence with any kind of a hit. A lousy single would work. He is a .329 hitter with runners in scoring position. Had a chance with the bases loaded last night. He couldn't come through.
And he lines it right to Santiago. And Moustakas was able to get back to second base, so no double play and one out.
Okay, good job by base runners freezing on the liner. Can't get doubled up, especially in a tight situation like this. You got an ace like Verlander in trouble. Do the right thing on the bases there. That was good. It froze.
And now Getz, he lined to right his first time up. And a nice backhand stab by Avila. Kane is the runner at third, so anything back to the screen is a run.
Okay, Getz, he got some everyday at-bats down there in AAA, and he's much more comfortable now. He says, all right, there was no pressure. I stayed with the same stance every time up. Needs to see some success right here. This is one of the reasons why Gio got sent down and Getzy got called up. He's going with the hot hand, and you got a really good chance to get some more playing time with a big hit.
And grounded to Santiago. Out at second base, no double play. So Getz avoids the double play. He gets an RBI to drive in Lorenzo Cain, and the Royals lead 4-3 in the fourth inning.
Okay, good hustle. Hit the ball hard, it's right at him, but immediately when you make contact, you become a base runner. You focus on beating that ball out, and you did. Right here you say, oops, okay, time to go. We don't even have time to think. He's off to the races.
First and third for Alex Gordon. And interesting, looking at his first two plate appearances. In the first, Verlander just started him off with a fastball at 91. Alex took it for a strike. In the third, he started him off with a fastball at 91. Alex took it for a strike. So this time Alex was swinging for a first pitch fastball, but Verlander reached back and the pitch was at 95 miles an hour as Getz steals his sixth base to put two in scoring position for Gordon. And that's stolen bases in the first two games for Getz since coming back from AAA.
Yeah, that's a really good steal there. Now you got a chance to score two with anything hit hard. It finds a hole. Hunter's got a really good arm in right field. Dirks is pretty good in left. Hard for a center fielder to throw anybody out, although Jackson, he's not a bad thrower.
1 ball, 1 strike. As good as Verlander has been against the Royals in the past, and we showed you 15-2. And in his first 2 starts this year, just 2 runs allowed in 14 innings. Last year, Verlander pitched a game here in late August, and the Royals scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings and ended up giving up 8 earned runs in the game. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's really mixing up his pitches on board. Alex was just a tick off of that changeup. A lot similar to Salvador Perez's at bat. He wants to just shorten it up and put it in play.
Inside at 96, 3-2.
Love how the Royals are competing against Verlander, one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Just inside. Verlander wants to know why that wasn't a strike, and he's yelling and shaking his head at home plate umpire Lance Barksdale. That's the second time tonight that Verlander has walked Alex on a very close pitch. And so it's become a long inning for Verlander. And Barksdale and Verlander are still talking.
That's a beautiful thing. You want to see the pitcher frustrated. And that's a ball that's in off the plate. Great take by Alex. He'll take it. Verlander wanted it. And with him, now you make it hurt. You got Hosmer coming up. So Gordon with his 38th and 39th walk.
So similar situation as last inning, when we were saying that you don't get many opportunities against Verlander, and the Royals need a big hit, and they got it. Salvador Perez hit a 2-run double to tie the game. The Royals have a run in the 4th to take the lead, but really need more than that, and Hosmer would love to have that pitch again. Good healthy swing, just didn't square it up.
He's 2 for 7 with him loaded up this year. That was the one he wants back. Oh, man, that was right where he wants it. So you regroup. Big hit here gets Jim Leland thinking. He's already got some action up in the pin.
May have been out of the strike zone. 0-2. Luke Pekonen warming up for the Tigers. Not very often the Tigers have somebody warming up in the 4th inning with Verlander on the mound.
He gets so close to getting the guy out, you got to finish him off. Now he'll be tough. Verlander's used that 4-seamer on Hosmer. Let's see if he goes upstairs with one.
Late movement and didn't get the call. 97 miles an hour, 1-2.
Hosmer last night, his bat was quick and he was aggressive and he looked really good. Tonight he's got a base hit. Second one off of Verlander. Up the middle.
Flicks a changeup foul, still 1-2.
That's right, anything close. The Royals are hitting .289 with them loaded up as a team with 4 slams this year.
There's the high fastball.
I knew one of them was coming. Hosmer had an idea it was coming too, so he's able to spit on it. And they're continuing to tax his pitch count.
28 this inning, 80 in the game. So he's at 20 pitches per inning. Another foul ball. Royals had the bases loaded with nobody out, and for a moment it looked like Verlander might get out of it after a line out and a ground ball. The Tigers did not turn a double play. A run scored. A walk to Alex Gordon to load him up again for Hosmer. 98 miles an hour, so it's in there. We just don't see it as often with Verlander.
And you know what else is in there in the brain of Verlander is the Royals' offensive attack. They're making him think out there.
And some of these pitches to Hosmer might be mad pitches as a result of not getting the call against Gordon. Runners go. Ball 4 with the bases loaded.
Boy, tremendous at bat. That's a plate appearance. Doesn't count as an at bat. Leland says, well, we'll push it off to one more hitter, and you don't want to see this guy coming up at Billy Butler. Really good lifetime numbers against Verlander. Has a chance to put the ace away.
And that walk comes after Hosmer was down 0-2. The inning began with the Lorenzo Cain single. He was down 1-2. Moustakas singled. He was down 1-2. So the Royals, a few times in this inning, have been down but not out and have a 2-run lead. And Billy had a feeling he was going to go after anything close on the first pitch, and Verlander limits it to a 2-run inning. He avoids making eye contact with the home plate umpire Lance Barksdale as the Royals have some great plate appearances and come up with 2 to take the lead in the 4th inning.
For the Houston Astros, Brandon Barnes hits for the cycle. A 5-for-5 game for him at 2 RBIs. What a night for him. The 8th cycle in Houston Astros history. But when you talk about history, Miguel Cabrera seems to be making it every day. And I was talking with Tigers radio announcer, former big league catcher Jim Price, who's one of the more insightful broadcasters that we see on a regular basis around the league. And he said he just feels like he's watching history when he comes to the park and sees Miguel Cabrera every single night. He's one of the best I've ever seen. And I said, well, you've seen a lot of guys in your life, so how does he stack up? And he said, I played against Mickey Mantle, against Carl Yastrzemski, with Al Kaline. I watched as a kid Musial and Ted Williams. He's in that group. He's doing things that we have never seen before. And on top of that, he said he's cleaned up his life. We've talked about that a lot, guys. Jim Price has a son with autism, and he has a charity event every other year, and it's called Dancing with the All-Stars. And he said Torrey Hunter, no surprise here, will be the MC for that event. And he said Miguel Cabrera is the lead dancer in that event. He said he's got a heart of gold.
1-2 on Cabrera. The lead dancer. Well, he has trimmed up over the past couple of years, which will help him with his dancing moves. And that started last season when he had to move from first base over to third after the Tigers signed Prince Fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you know, he hits the ball hard lots of times, but then every hitter will tell you they love the jam sandwich every so often. And that's the hit he got, and the only one, fortunately, so far in this series. Guthrie gets him.
Went right at him with a fastball at 94, and that's a 5 strikeout game so far for Guthrie, who appeared to be on the ropes in the first couple of innings.
He's settling in. His team got him the lead. Let's check out that second at bat by Cabrera today. Here it is. Okay, here it is, the Phantom Cam. It's going to show you. Watch the vibration of the bat because he didn't hit it very good. He hits it off the handle. Look at that bat. I mean, it stayed intact, so the bat lives to see another at bat. But the hit speed that we've been showing you so far this year. Oh man. Getsy got twisted up on that. Hopefully that left knee's all right.
He was moving to his right, and the ball kicked back to the left. So his legs were going in one direction, and he was reaching in the opposite direction. The ball was hit extremely hard by Prince Fielder.
He hit it hard, and sometimes when you're an infielder and you commit one way, the ball goes another way, you got to somehow compensate. If you don't have your feet in the right place, it's going to be some knee adjustments or also ankles. His left knee, they always do that. You know what? I hated that. When they, you might sprain yourself, see that knee kind of folded under. They always come
both
out.
Legs.
Yeah, and they try to pull on you, and you're saying, does that hurt? Well, yeah, it hurts. Watch his left knee. See that? That's an awkward position there. You hope that there was no pop or anything in there. But Ned, he's coming looking for a player. Most likely be Elliott Johnson, but we'll see. The fact that he's walking, that's good. He wants to stay in the game. He's telling Ned he's all right. But Ned says, nuh-uh.
And sometimes it's just the shock of the play. I mean, your body is not supposed to move and twist like that. So sometimes a player will just lie down on the grass, just wait and see if the pain comes with the awkward movement, and sometimes they're able to stay in the game, or in this case, Get's able to walk off the field.
And from experience, I had 7 operations on one knee and 2 on the other. You can feel it. You can feel a pop or anything in there. You know if you're hurt. And the fact that Getsy walked off, that's really a good sign. Doesn't take Elliott Johnson more than 3 tosses to get loose. He's in a big league game, and that's what happens when you're a utility guy. You got to be ready whenever you're needed. You can be hanging out, flicking sunflower seeds at one another, having some fun on the bench 1 minute, and the next minute you're in the game. Hopefully he's all right.
Second hit for Prince Fielder, 1 on, 1 out. Victor Martinez drove in a run in the first inning. There's a fastball with some movement to it. 0-1 on Martinez.
Veteran pitcher like Guthrie, when you get him a 2-run lead, he comes out and says, all right, that's exactly where I want to be. Keep my team in the game and hold it right here. Little ground ball here, roll it up, would be beautiful.
Here's the ground ball, and Escobar will go to second base. Johnson throws anyway, as Martinez does not run well, and the Royals get the lead runner at second base. No double play.
Elliott Johnson, with that strong arm he has, he says, you know what, I'm going to throw it anyway. Ball not hit that hard. It's important that you try to leave your feet when a guy's coming in sliding at you, so you don't have any knee problems there. And when you come in for defense, usually the ball finds you right away. I don't know why.
Peralta reached on a fielder's choice first time up and singled in the third. Guthrie threw 48 pitches in the first 2 innings, but it's been very pitch efficient in the last 3. As Peralta fouls it away. He really needed a quick inning at some point tonight, and he got it last inning when he needed just 7 pitches to get out of the 4th, and could use another quick inning here. He is at 11 in this inning, but look at that, 29 in the first, 19 in the second, 21 in the third. One ball, 2 strikes on Peralta. Jammed him badly, and he fouls it off of his knuckles into the seats. Still 1-2. Just missed outside. It has been a tight strike zone tonight, so that has something to do with the 5-3 score in the 4th inning.
Okay, Guthrie on that pitch, he didn't complain. He just wanted to know what the count was. Barksdale's in his 10th year as a umpire behind the plate.
Perez sets up outside, and now 3-2. So Martinez will run as Peralta gets jammed and floats that into left field for a base hit. Martinez with very little speed. He'll stop at second base, and the Tigers have 2 on with 2 out.
Another nice crowd here at the K.
Well, we've been talking about the kids, and remember, it's Kids Fest tomorrow. And parents, you can sign your kids up for Slugger's Blue Crew, brought to you by the Learning Quest 529 Education Savings Program. Members receive a gray batting practice jersey, a Royals hat, blue wristbands, ticket vouchers, priority access for the Sunday Fun Run, and much more for just $25. And you can join right now at Royals.com/Blue Crew. Andy Dirks is a tough luck 0 for 2. He is lined to first and lined to left on a nice play by Alex Gordon. And this time hits a slow roller to the right side. Hosmer, some confusion, and Dirks is safe.
Hosmer had to wait back. The ball had some top spin on it, and it was kind of a funky hop that he got. He just wasn't sure whether to take it himself, and he typically is very aggressive over there, and he takes all those himself. Guthrie, he was able to get there. And see, the fact that Hosmer is so aggressive and always takes everything, Guthrie had already backed off.
So instead of the inning being over, the bases are loaded for Alex Avila, who has a double tonight. Ball 1 is low.
It's almost like Dirks hit Hosmer a changeup.
It's an infield single for Andy Dirks. And now up the middle, and Johnson has trouble as he goes down. And the Tigers are going to end up with 2 runs.
And that's how the game can change with one hop. Okay, Elliott left his feet, did all he could to try to keep it in front of him. By the time Escobar got to it, it was too late. No chance.
So that ties the game at 5. The curveball is in for a strike. And now another ground ball to the right side. A more difficult play than 2 batters ago, and Guthrie in his frustration throws the ball way down into the right field corner. As I'm sure the Royals feel like they just gave the Tigers 2 runs to tie the game. Royals baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread. Try pasta the Panera way. Live consciously, eat deliciously. By Ford, see the new F-150 at your Midwest Ford dealer today. And by ATT UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible.
So it's a new ball game now. Verlander says, all right, I got a chance. Don't have a lot of pitches left. But you know what? Jim Leland's let him go over 100 pitches a few times. Gosh, how about almost all of his starts?
Well, remember the one that raised some eyebrows? And last year, here at Kauffman Stadium, Verlander was making just his 3rd start of the season, and he threw 131 pitches.
Out of 21 starts this year, he's had 3 starts that he threw under 100 pitches. That's all. Highest was his 4th start of the year against Seattle. He threw 126.
And he gets a strikeout as Salvador Perez. It's just his 2nd strikeout tonight. Sal has driven in 3 of the 5 runs. 1 away in the 5th inning.
Took a lot off that slider.
And now Lorenzo Cain, he got the 2-run 4 started with a leadoff single. He has hit in 8 straight. Came around to score on The fielder's choice hit by Chris Getz.
You know, talking about the pitch count of Verlander, he's thrown over 100 pitches, 207 starts in his career. I think that'd make Nolan Ryan proud.
For him, though, it's not just 100 pitches, but the number of times that Jim Leyland will allow him to go 120, 125 pitches or more. And we don't know the answer, but with his velocity down this year, some people suggesting that maybe all of those pitches are catching up with him. The fan made a nice grab with one hand. Cell phone in the left hand, souvenir in the right hand. Fielder crosses the line, and he'll make the play on Lorenzo Cain. 2 down in the 5th inning.
You're right, Ryan. You know, those pitches, they eventually do catch up with you, but with Verlander's ability to not go pedal to the metal all the time, that's going to help him stay around longer. You get a guy that throws hard every pitch, every effort, eventually you're going to have a breakdown, not just wear you down.
And a bigger concern in Detroit is that, remember, in spring training they signed him to a 5-year extension. He already had 2 more years left on his current contract, this year and next year, so they added 5 years to it. So that has some people frightened, hoping that the Tigers haven't seen the best of Justin Verlander, and that somehow those innings and those pitches are going to catch up with him, and his quality or his career is on the decline. They've got him signed up for 7 more years.
Good for him.
Mike Moustakas deep into right field, and he puts the Royals back in front. And boy, did the Royals need that.
First Moustaka since the 6th of this month, and he went about it with this almost the identical pitch of his base hit earlier. He stuck it. Beautiful swing. Stayed right down on it. That was a line shot out of the yard, and Moose knew right away on contact.
Now David Lowe goes the other way. Andy Dirks is back, and he makes a play. So the Royals allowing 2 frustrating runs in the top of the 5th inning that tied the game, and Mike Moustakas gives the Royals a lift with a home run in the bottom half to put his team back in front. Afternoon, and fans, we invite you to bring your new unwrapped toys tomorrow to help Toys for Tots and the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve as they want to show the less fortunate children in the community the joy of Christmas. 1:10 game tomorrow as Austin Jackson jumps on the first pitch from Guthrie and flies out to David Lowe in right field. 1 pitch, 1 out. So we hope you'll come out early tomorrow and add to the collection at Kauffman Stadium from 11:30 to 1:30 outside of each gate. A new unwrapped toy for Toys for Tots and the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve.
Oh, that'll make a lot of young people happy. They're already happy. Moose brought them out of their seat. Guthrie got pitch number 100 coming up.
Strike to Torrey Hunter. He drove in a run with a sac fly in the second inning. One hop to Moustakas, who has a short throw for his arm. And Hunter is out, number 2.
Well, you know how nice it is to hear the crowd with the Moose chants again. Here we are in the second half of the season. We haven't heard a lot of Moose calls because Moose hasn't gotten off to the start that he was hoping for. But I'll tell you, better late than never. They need his bat desperately. Nice to see him making some adjustments. The hitting coaches working well with the guys on their mental approach. Not so much physical with the mechanics, although there is a lot of that goes on still. But it's more of looking for your pitch, and they've been buying it.
One and one on Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera walked and scored in the first inning, had a bloop single in the second. And Guthrie struck him out in the fifth. Just challenged him with a fastball like that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's really good to see him up with no Tigers on base.
And now he drops down, and there's that hard slider. Still 1-2. 105 pitches. 69 of those came in the first 3 innings. So it's not the prettiest line he's had this year, but back to the conversation we had a week ago about continuing to compete. Didn't look like he was going to go 6 innings a few innings ago, but he does. Strikes out Cabrera a second time. And Cabrera thoroughly frustrated as Guthrie has a 1-2-3 6th inning. The Royals lead by 1.
6th strikeout of the night for Guthrie. Go ahead. Drive the bus.
Looks like that'll be it for Jeremy Guthrie, who gets through 6 innings, allowing 5 runs, 10 hits, but he leaves with the Royals in front. The Royals tonight, they have scored in 4 of the 5 innings against Justin Verlander. Salvador Perez heavily involved. He has 3 RBIs. Mike Moustakas put the Royals in front 6-5 with a home run in the 5th inning. Alcides Escobar, boy, that's the pitch he wanted. He had a pretty good swing. He just got underneath it, and Dirks makes the play in left center field.
Well, you want to know why Salvador Perez is batting cleanup? It's because he's got a .361 average with runners in scoring position, and he's driving the bus. He's doing his job.
Oh, Tim Collins getting ready for the top of the 7th inning. Elliot Johnson hits for the first time, and our Sonic Slam inning contestant is Don Comer from Adrian, Missouri. $700 on its way to Adrian if the Royals hit a home run in this inning. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Don Comer wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
How about a little drag bunt to Prince Fielder right here?
0-2.
He won't do it now with 2 strikes on him.
So 100 pitches for Verlander in 5 1/3 innings. Chris Getz started at second base, drove in a run with a fielder's choice, and then had to leave the game in the 5th inning in pursuit of a Prince Fielder base hit to right field that took an awkward skip on him. Getz went down with a leg injury, like he either twisted his knee or his ankle. He was able to walk off the field and replaced by Johnson, who strikes out, 2 down in the 6th. And for Verlander, that is just 3 strikeouts tonight. Alex has given Verlander fits. 0 for 1 with 2 walks, and both walks coming on borderline pitches that had Verlander questioning the strike zone of home plate umpire Lance Barksdale, especially in the 4th inning when Alex walked to load the bases and then Eric Hosmer walked to force in a run.
That's Albuquerque getting ready to come in. Change-ups are working in this at bat here. 2 in a row. Four-seam fastball coming. Maybe.
Went with a breaking ball. Ball gets through Fielder's legs, and Gordon will be safe. So he continues to give Justin Verlander fits. That's the 3rd time that Alex has reached tonight without a hit.
Yeah, so Verlander, he went 2 change-ups and a curveball there, and Gordon was able to hit it hard, left it out over the plate.
So an error on Fielder, and now Hosmer, who's reached twice with a single, a run scored, and a walk with the bases loaded, and Alex is running. Hosmer pulls it into right field. Eddie Rodriguez is going to hold up Alex Gordon, as this time Torrey Hunter hits the cutoff man, and Eddie Rodriguez perhaps playing that conservatively with 2 outs because of who's coming up.
Yeah, and you know what? Alex would have been thrown out because Torrey Hunter got to the ball and he hit the cutoff man, Santiago. And he's going to keep coming hard. I mean, all the way around the base, he holds him. And that was the right decision, as Leland's going to take Verlander out. That's the key. They got him out in the 6th inning. Great job by the hitting coaches designing their plan to attack Verlander, and it's worked.
So it's Albuquerque with a Chevy call to the bullpen for the Tigers. TNT Uverse Rewind.
Okay, the Royals were really good with their patience. Verlander frustrated, obviously. Hosmer milked a great walk after being down 0-2. Fastball, slider are the two pitches that Albuquerque possesses. In his last 5 outings, he's 0-1 with an 18 ERA. Fastball, slider. His fastball's low to mid-90s.
One and one on Billy. Billy came up with the bases loaded and 2 down in the 4th inning after the Royals scored 2 and were looking for the knockout blow. And Verlander got him on a ground ball to 3rd, and now up there with runners at 1st and 3rd, 2 down in the 6th. Ooh, we got a hanging slider and fouled it back.
He missed it. That was a good pitch for Billy.
And a slider down and away is swung on and missed. Billy thought it was in the dirt. And first base umpire Vic Carapazza agrees that the ball was caught, so he strikes out, and the Royals strand 2. Ford. For the best deals on new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. And by 5 Hour Energy Shots. And we end up with a beautiful sunset tonight. There were thunderstorms all around the ballpark, but we haven't had a drop of rain since the game started. We're expecting some delays, and so far it hasn't happened. Now we know why Billy Butler was upset after the final out of the bottom of the 6th.
Yep, the Phantom Cam, it'll show you. See the little dirt coming off the end of the bat? He did get a piece of it, and the ball did hit the dirt before he caught it. If he catches it cleanly before it hits the dirt, then he's out. But if it hits the dirt, it's a foul ball. So, home plate umpire Lance Barksdale, he appealed to first base umpire Vic Carapazza, and Carapazza said no, he's out.
And you can see why Billy would be the only one who noticed. I mean, if we don't have Phantom Cam, you don't pick that up. And Billy did feel the vibration. And he's yelling at the first base umpire, Vic Carapazza.
Yeah, but it's already been done now. He just needs to kind of let it go. But Billy, he saw it, and lots of times the hitter's the only one who knows it. But, you know, just let it go now. Get him next time. So Collins is coming in, hopefully with everything working for him. Big curve, that'll work. Was a little bit away. But lefties have hit Collins only 206, 2 home runs. Righties 283, no home runs.
Two 2-0 on Prince Fielder, who hit 3 rockets in his first 3 at-bats tonight. 2 singles to right field while driving in a run, and his only out was a line out to center field. And that's hit well into left center field, but Kane got a good jump and runs it down for the first out. Well, we had so many things going on last night that we get a chance to answer our AT&T trivia question. So we're going to give you another chance at it tonight. And we showed you that Miguel Cabrera with 95 RBIs going into the break. That's the 5th most in Major League history. However, what is the record for most RBIs after the All-Star break?
Well, if we're going to go on the history of baseball, that makes the question really hard. So you can take some of the greatest hitters in the world and guess.
Base hit left field for Victor Martinez. That's his 2nd hit of the game. So there you go. That's the top 6 highest totals for RBIs before the All-Star break. I'm just going to go with the obvious answer. If Hack Wilson is not on that list, and yet he ended up with 191 RBIs for the Cubs in 1930, then obviously the bulk came in the second half of the season. So I'm going to go with Hack Wilson.
I like the reasoning.
Johnny Peralta, 2 hits and a run scored tonight. And Joe Lavero, our producer, says the answer is not Hack Wilson.
Well, we need some help with this. Give us an era. Okay. All right. The full page.
So there you go. Among the other 11,000 players who played in the major leagues, it's not Hack Wilson. It's somebody among the other 10,999. Right. You go first.
How about Ted Williams?
Lowe makes the play inside the right field line.
Well, it could be somebody that was on that list. So why not go with Hank Greenberg? Ted Williams, Willie Mays.
Were those guys on that list?
No, but Hank was.
Another nice crowd tonight, 35,000 even. Have you ever written down on your scorecard in your career an even number like 35,000 for an attendance?
No. What a great place to come after you've just been married, though.
And is that a Tiger jersey next to a Royals jersey? Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough.
Wow.
That marriage could get rocky.
It's going to get tested right away.
It sure will.
The Tigers had Andy Dirks coming up, a left-hand batter. And then Jim Leland sent Matt Tuiasosopo to the plate, a right-hand hitter. Nervioso's ready for that. So he will call on Luke Hochevar. 2 down, 7th inning. Royals lead by 1. Tigers have a runner at first base. Would be Kelly Bucati, wife of our Nate Bucati. And look at, that's how she rolls. She's in the white wine and cheese seats tonight.
Ooh, man, Nate, you're going good.
And the mother of their 2 children, son Ben and daughter Ophelia. Is that a clue?
That might be a clue, but I don't think it was Miguel.
It's not Brian Pena, I don't think.
Uncle.
And
Hey!
Greenberg.
There he was.
Now that was 2 different years. 103 was 1930, and 110 after the All-Star break was 1937.
Do you know that Hank Greenberg's son, Steve Greenberg, was my first agent?
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Now Steve is an executive. He represents people in high places.
Blocked by Salvador Perez. Victor Martinez isn't going anywhere. So Luke Hochevar in a so-called high leverage situation. Tying run on. Go ahead, run at the plate. Late in the ball game, 2 outs in the 7th inning. Trying to get pinch hitter Matt Tuiasosopo.
Hey, Matt, he's 3 for 10 off of Leland's bench with a homer. 6 RBIs. Strong guy.
Two balls, 1 strike.
Don't get a lot of pinch hit opportunities in the American League. When you got a guy like that sitting over there, you're going to use him at a certain time in the game where you feel like you have a chance. And it was Collins who was in when Leland pinch hit this young man. Now, Hoch needs to come in there and get in that strike zone.
And now 3-1 with Alex Avila on deck. 3-2. Jeremy Guthrie really fought through 6 innings tonight. He gave up 5 runs, 10 hits. And his pitch count was an issue early in the game, but he cleaned it up in the final 3 innings. Tim Collins got the first 2 outs in this inning. He allowed the base hit to Martinez, and now Hochevar, as Tuiasa Sopo hits it high in the air to center field. Easy play for Lorenzo Cain. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals have a 6-5 lead over the Tigers as Collins and Hochevar combine for a scoreless 7th. Earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Boy, you know, you're really good if you can strike out the best hitter on the planet twice in one game. Way to go, Jeremy Guthrie. How did you do it? A lot of pitchers around the league would like to know. Frustrated Cabrera. Beautiful. Love to see it. Sorry, Mickey. Way to go, Jeremy. Little hop to his step coming off there.
Al Albuquerque got the final out of the 6th inning, stays on for the 7th, and throws a strike to Salvador Perez, who has driven in 3. Justin Verlander went 5 2/3, allowed 5 earned runs, 6 total runs, as Perez takes high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Tuiasa Sopo, who batted for Andy Dirks in the top of the 7th, stays in left field.
Hey, Albuquerque, he's coming out with a lot of sliders.
That was off speed.
Hey, that's exactly how you get out of the way of a ball coming at you. Turn away from it.
Back with a slider, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But I tell you, at the moment, there is just a stunning looking sky. All those thunderstorms, Miss Kauffman Stadium, at least so far. And I mean, you can just see the clouds surrounding. It's almost like we're in the eye of a hurricane.
It's beautiful.
With the sun reflecting off the clouds, especially off to the east. Just a beautiful sight. Still 2-2 on Perez.
Spectacular ride.
Just a ring of gold around Kauffman Stadium. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but Joel just came into the booth and handed me a picture that he took of that sunset. So apparently we were thinking the same thing at the same time. Nice picture, Joel. Hit well to center field. Jackson hardly has to move. So Sal is out, 1 down in the 7th inning. Well, it wasn't a banner start from Justin Verlander, but remember what we showed you very early in the game, that this year the Royals did very little against Verlander. Gave up just 2 runs in 14 innings in his first 2 starts, but the Royals won both of those games because of what they did against the bullpen, scoring 9 runs in 5 2/3 innings. And now they're into what has been a shaky bullpen for the Tigers this year. There's a fastball. Boy, for a guy who throws a lot of sliders, he can reach back and throw 96.
There it was. And you would expect that he would at least try to show that to hitters and then finish him off with a slider, but he's been going a lot of sliders.
Down and away to Lorenzo Cain, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored.
You know, Albuquerque's, I mentioned his last 5 outings, he's got an 18.69 ERA, so he's trying something different.
1-2, and he has somewhat of a violent delivery, and he's paid the price in his career as a professional. He's had Tommy John surgery, he's had right shoulder surgery, and he's had a second surgery on his right elbow. That was 2 years ago. That is a nasty slider, 89 miles an hour, and he has his second strikeout, 2 down in the 7th inning.
When you have a 96, usually you start it out with that. And you get him to swing off the plate. Jim Leland says, I'm not going to take a chance with Moose because Moose is starting to get loose.
He's had 3 good swings, Moustakas has tonight. A fly out to deep right field where he just missed a home run, and then a single to right, and then he did hit a home run to right field. Right now that's the difference in the game. So Jim Leland is going to bring on a left-hander.
So they're studying Pedro Gafal's book of knowledge on the pitchers,
which is Drew. Fans, if you want to be included in a Royals TV commercial, go to Royals.com/photo challenge to submit a photo of your Royals pride. And each week we request a different themed photo to submit, and fans with winning photos will be included in the commercial and then recognized on the field at a Royals game. Drew Smyly against Mike Moustakas. And Smiley throws ball one, and with all the problems that the Tigers have had at times with their bullpen, Smiley has not been one of them. 36 appearances, and his ERA is under 2.
Okay, Mike Moustakas, though, he forced the hand of Jim Leland by that powerful home run that he hit off of Verlander. It was a line shot, too. Caught it out front, pulled it. Good to see Moose going over that wall. Moose is a 161 hitter off a lefty.
And a 3-hit game for Mike Moustakas.
Boy, is that nice. Good to see him get going. Smiley, on the other hand, has only given up a 138 average to lefties. No homers. David Lowe's a 333 hitter against the lefty. Let's see that phantom cam again. Look at that. Solid contact, very little vibration. Moose is locked in.
It's just the third time this year that Mike Moustakas has had a 3-hit game. And the last time he did it was more than 2 months ago. May 8th, when the Royals were in Baltimore. He also had a 3-hit game very early in the season at Philadelphia on April 5th. So he has added 8 points to his batting average tonight. 2 singles and a home run, and now David Lowe is 1 for 3. That gets him up to 293. One big hop to Fielder. He'll go to the bag, and that's that. So at the end of 7, Royals still have a 6-5 lead over the Tigers.
By a run, New York 5-2 over Boston. The White Sox last the Braves 10-6 in that one. Minnesota beating Cleveland. How about Seattle? They're up 4-2. They have 1 hit in the game. Eric Bedard went 6 1/3 without giving up a hit. Still allowed 3 runs, 5 walks, 2 unearned runs. I don't know if we've seen that before. Baltimore all over Texas. Chris Davis, just an RBI against his former team. Our Mazda Game Break takes a look at that White Sox game. Yesterday, Alex Rios was benched, pulled from the game by Robin Ventura for not hustling out a bobble ball that turned into a double play. Today he goes deep with the grand slam. Guys?
I like it. Thanks, Joel.
Here's Aaron Crow taking over in the 8th inning. And he'll be facing 2 left-hand batters, Avila, then a pinch hitter, Don Kelly, followed by right-hand hitting Austin Jackson. And there's a base hit to right field for Avila. So Mike Moustakas, who has been struggling most of the year, has a 3-hit game, and Alex Avila, who was hitting 174 when the game began, he has a 3-hit game.
Yep, and he's looking at the first pitch, fastball up in the zone. Okay, Don Kelly's going to come in to pinch hit. He came in last night late in the ninth against Holland. Tough chance. He struck out. He's 0 for 9 as a pinch hitter.
Didn't mean to go around and fouls it away. And he was a pinch hitter against Greg Holland last night. Holland struck him out in the ninth. Tigers had a 2-0 lead in the first inning, a 3-1 lead in the second inning. Royals had a 5-3 lead in the fifth. Tigers tied it. And the difference right now is a Mike Moustakas home run in the bottom of the fifth inning to put the Royals in front 6-5.
Okay, you know, the Royals have one of the strongest bullpens in baseball, and they're really going to come in to play here and be tested this second half of the year. And they have to have the pin to win. There's no question. There's tight scoring games that the Royals play in. That bullpen comes in and when they're on, they can shut them down, especially this time of the game on. The Crow's got to come in and get ahead. Can't afford to give any more base runners. At least don't walk anybody. Have them put it in play.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Crow has a good fastball, mid-90s, and a really nice slider when he's on.
Crow missed Mizzou night by 1 night. Had a big crowd here, 35,000 last night, which was Mizzou night, and over 30,000 here tonight. Just inside 3-2. Avila runs, and that is ball 4, and the Tigers have 2 on with nobody out.
Tom Brookins, the third base coach, is making sure he has the attention of Avila and Kelly. As Lewis Coleman's getting up. Let's see if they bunt Jackson with nobody out.
Jackson has 1 sacrifice bunt this year. He is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. Aaron Crow would not be an easy guy to bunt.
You know, and if he continues to try to bunt, that's that fastball about belt high is what you want to throw. Take a chance he pops it up, or he can't deaden it and it goes right to somebody. That was the wheel play there. Moose was crashing the third baseman. Escobar was covering third, so they were trying to get the force at third if he does get it down. Main thing with nobody outs, when a guy bunts, just get an out. You got to get an out.
2-0.
Got to get this hitter here. You can't put him on. You can't go bases loaded and nobody out. You want to win this game.
Got the call over the outside, 2-1.
Got to go right after him here.
When Jackson swings the bat against Aaron Crow, he's 2 for 5 with a home run. Three balls, one strike. So Crow is one bad pitch away from giving the Tigers 3 base runners with nobody out in a 1-run game in the 8th inning. The bunt is down, and Crow will play it to first, and a close play, and just barely got Jackson. So Jackson gets the job done as he moves Avila to third and Kelly to second. Elliott Johnson covering, so it is 1-4 for the out.
Okay, when that ball gets close to the runner like that, that's tough for Johnson to try to get out there and catch that ball. He did a good job of concentrating there. Good focus. Sometimes if you catch that ball, you take your eye off it for 1 second with that elbow coming. Could have been worse.
And Crow just not getting the normal bite on his slider. Pitch stayed up to Hunter, and thankfully too high for Hunter to take a swipe at it. 0 for 3. He did drive in a run with a sac fly in the 2nd inning. However, Torrey Hunter is 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts against Aaron Crow. 1-1. Many times, this is when Ned Yost would bring Aaron Crow into the game. And there was a mess, and he needed a strikeout. On the ground to Moustakas.
Beautiful. That'll work.
So now decision time. There's an open base. A right-hand batter is at the plate, maybe the best hitter on the planet. Crow is not throwing a lot of strikes, and you have a left-hand batter who is almost as good waiting on deck.
Well, this is obviously a situation here where you believe and you trust that your pitcher can get him out. Struck out a couple times. He's due, and that looked good. Not quite good enough. And you know, Cabrera seems to rise to the occasion. Oh, man. He's got to have that. That ball ran back over the plate in the outer half.
On the ground to Moustakas again. Nice backhand play. In the dirt, handled by Hosmer.
Woo, man. Ned Yost, big sigh of relief there. Great job. Way to rebound, Aaron.
So Aaron Crow, Ned Yost, and 30,000 fans exhale. action in stunning HD quality on MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market game live, as well as choice of home and away broadcasts, live game DVR functionality, clickable line scores. How can you not like clickable line scores? And multi-game viewing options. So visit MLB.tv to order. Baseball everywhere. Don Kelly stays in at second base. He batted for Ramon Santiago in the 8th inning. Drew Smiley stays on for the bottom of the 8th. And we'll get Escobar, Johnson, and Gordon.
And don't have to deal with Miguel Cabrera in the 9th. Big out by Crow to get him to ground into third base with DeMoose.
That's backing out of play. 2-1 on Escobar, who is 0 for 3. One of his outs was a line out to second base in the 4th inning, and that came with the bases loaded, nobody out. Royals still ended up with 2 runs in the inning. Thinking about a bunt, 3-1.
Not a bad idea. He wanted to push that one. Cabrera's crashing.
Got a pitch that was up and got on top of it. Tuiasa Sopo makes a play in left field. A couple of lineouts for Escobar among his 0 for 4 tonight as Greg Holland gets ready for Prince fielder Victor Martinez and Johnny Peralta in the 9th inning. Boy, this is nothing new, the Royals and the Tigers. 21 of the last 25 games, not including tonight, 21 of the last 25 between these two teams have been decided by 2 runs or less, and 14 of those decided by 1 run. Aaron Crow pitched himself in and out of a messy situation in the top of the 8th inning. Royals won a 1-run game last night, 1-0, and now lead 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Elliott Johnson batted once tonight, and as a left-hand batter struck out in the 6th. Tuiasa Sopo's first step was back, but he corrects and makes a play for the second out. So now Smiley will get Alex Gordon with 2 down and nobody on. Alex has been on base 3 times. Don't forget to vote for the Royals Player of the Month, sponsored by Majestic and Rally House. Vote at Rally House stores and get a chance to go on field and meet the winning player. 2 walks for Alex, a run scored. He's also reached on an error. All of those plate appearances were against Justin Verlander, and now Smiley throws a changeup for a strike. One and one. Drew Smiley, I'm sure, has a lot of friends and family at the ballpark tonight. He is from Little Rock, which is about 425 miles south of here. He attended Central High School and the University of Arkansas, and where the Tigers have been in town in the past. Smiley has filled up the pass list with family and friends coming up from Arkansas. Two and two. Alex, one of the subjects tonight in our Sprint Unlimited Answers poll. Who will finish with the highest batting average? 40% going with Alex Gordon, who's hitting .281 at the moment. With an on-base percentage of over 400 late in games. It's been a specialty of his, but Smiley strikes him out. Alex got a piece of Avila with his follow-through. So Avila, who has a 3-hit game, staggers off the field, and Greg Holland jogs onto the field. Royals have a 1-run lead to the 9th inning against the first-place Tigers.
The money man and automatic as you can get. He's been fantastic. Hopefully tonight he's on top of his game with strike one, strike two, and doesn't give these guys a chance at all. He's got the ability, great fastball, slider, and a split finger. Hopefully it's Holland to the rescue.
He won't have to face Miguel Cabrera, but he will have to face Prince fielder Victor Martinez and Johnny Peralta. 23 out of 25 in save opportunities, including his last 16 in a row. At the knees at 96 miles an hour, and a strike on Fielder, who's had good swings all night. 2 singles, an RBI. He is 2 for 4, and one of his outs was a line out to center field. Back with a fastball and hit well to left. Alex is there, and there's one down in the 9th.
Ooh. Way to keep the big fella down. Coming right back in there with that fastball, and that got a little bit more of the plate. But that's where you want to put it on him. Keep it out of his wheelhouse.
Victor Martinez has 2 hits and a run scored. The Tigers have out-hit the Royals tonight 12-9. However, the reason why they have only 5 runs with those 12 hits, they have 1 double and 11 singles. So the team with the 6th most home runs in the league, the 2nd most runs scored. They've had their hits. The Royals have done a good job of keeping them to 1 base hits. Victor Martinez into the right field corner, and David Lowe was very close to making the play. That ball had a lot of topspin on it.
Oh man,
when he hit it, I thought it was gone.
I did too. But the way Lowe was tracking it, looked like he had a chance. Now Leland's going to come with a pinch runner for sure. But we'll have to see the replay again to see how close Lowe actually came to catching this ball. This one was elevated, and that was right out of the plate. And Victor, he thought he had it too. Yeah. And Lowe.
Well, it hit the wall first. It hit the padded wall before he had a chance to get his glove on it. Hernan Perez is going to run for Martinez. So the tying run at second base. And Johnny Peralta at the plate. And that's outside for ball 1.
Victor got the pitch that he wanted. He just got on top of the ball a little bit.
Late on the fastball at 97. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That location's better. Down.
Johnny Peralta is 3 out of 7 against Greg Holland. Shallow right field. Long run in for David Lowe. He's there. Perez was halfway. So he's back to second, 2 down. I tell you what, Royals fans have really made a statement in this series with the Tigers with the way they have come out and supported their team. The Royals lost their last 5 before the All-Star break, falling to 8 games back in the standings. A season worst 8 games back in the standings. But here are the fans, 35,000 last night, 30,000 tonight, as the Royals are 1 out away from picking up a couple of games on the first place Tigers.
I'm telling you what, Holland, he appreciated the big crowd last night.
Check swing and a strike on Tuiasa Sopo, who has never faced Greg Holland. Came on as a pinch hitter, and Tuiasa Sopo flied out in the 7th inning.
Love to see the passion and the energy in the stands. Players feed off of it.
Bottom part of the strike zone, 0-2. He started to go. No swing. On appeal to Vic Carapazza, first base umpire. 1-2 on Tuiasa Sopo.
Hey, what, that split finger, that thing will make you offer at it, that's for sure.
Tying run at second base is Perez. Hit hard to Moustakas. And the game is over. Mike Moustakas, who has the game-winning RBI tonight with a home run, makes a nice backhand play on Tuiasa Sopo. And the Royals have begun the second half with back-to-back one-run wins over the first-place Tigers.
Oh, I'm telling you what, there's a sense of urgency all of a sudden by these Royals saying we have a chance. This season is not over. We're going to keep pushing and fighting. They've got energy and they've got skills. Great to see it. Holland, 24th save, and a beauty. Good defense. Great to see Moustakas. The Moose is loose. 3 knocks. Got to have him. Winning in front of the big crowds, Ryan, has got to really make the crowd and the players feed off of each other.
And we'll call Mike Moustakas our Ford Player of the Game.
Oh, and why not? They have been missing his bat most of the year. He's been a little streaky, but that base hit right there, that set him up for the next one. Almost the identical pitch. This time he's able to get underneath it with some backspin, and that ball was touched. See you later. Verlander. Didn't matter. Moose wasn't done. He says, all right, I'm going to keep my swing intact, and as long as my bat's working, that's a good thing for the Royals. Look at that no vibration. He was perfect. And a nice job in the field, too, by Moose.
Who is standing by down in the field with Joel Goldberg.
Ryan, thank you very much. 3 hits for Mike Moustakas and the defense there to end it. But let me talk to you about Justin Verlander first, because you guys have faced him so many times, and he's had most of your numbers. What were you as a team able to do after he got that lead tonight?
We were just able to battle back like we've been doing all year. This is a resilient team, and we never give up. We have that never say die attitude. So we go out, and that's a good pitcher out there, a great pitcher, and a great team. So we were able to battle back and do what we normally do, which is come out and try to win a ball game.
You look across the board, Billy has done very well against Justin in his career, and that's it. Young guys, veteran guys have struggled. Did you do anything different? Was he different at all?
No, that's a great pitcher out on the mound. It's Justin Verlander. But, we're a great team over here, too. So we got a bunch of great hitters, young, old, doesn't matter. We go out, and it doesn't matter who's on the mound that day. We go out and try to beat them.
You end up with the final out there, but let's talk about the inning before, because you have the best player in baseball up, and your reliever, Aaron Crow, is able to get that out. Just take us through that, the excitement, the nerves, if there were any.
Oh, it's awesome. Anytime you got Aaron Crow on the mound and against Miguel Cabrera, it's a tough at-bat for anybody. But, Aaron battled down and was able to make a good pitch, and I was able to feel and throw him out, and that's, like you said, it's the best player in baseball. So fortunate to get him out.
We heard a lot of Moose chants tonight. 3 hits, the defense, and there it is. Second straight night after the All-Star break with 30,000 plus. What do you think?
Oh, these fans are amazing. They're the best in the game. So we come out here and try to put on a show for these guys. I just want to say congratulations to our skipper, Ned Yost, on his 700th tonight. That's awesome.
Great job.
Thank you.
Mike Moustakis with the 3-hit night. And again, another Moose call for him. Ryan, we go back upstairs to you. And how about this? We're going to let Rex Hudler have some fun on the postgame show today.
All right, Joel, make sure that seatbelt is ready for him out there in Rivals. So celebrations everywhere tonight. The Royals win it, and Ned Yost wins his 700th game as a Major League manager. Also, celebration in the Goldberg family, as Joel's cousin Stephanie Yelnick was married earlier today to Bill. So Joel's family celebrating the Royals win out in California. Congratulations to them. 6-5 KC over the first-place Tigers. We'll be right back.